Hey y'all, this is Prof. Griswold back with the second episode of my League of Legends Dungeons and Dragons subclass series. This episode, we're focusing on a subclass based on Vi from League of Legends. It's a monk subclass called the Way of the Enforcer. It's very focused on dealing damage, just like Vi is. Let's get right into it. Monks of the Way of the Enforcer dedicate themselves to harnessing energy in a purely offensive manner to uphold their own personal codes. Foregoing standard monk practices, they fully commit themselves to accomplish their goals, often uncaring about how much damage they'd leave behind in their wake. Excessive techniques. Starting when you choose this tradition at 3rd level, you can channel the surrounding energy into your fists. Whenever you hit a creature with one of the attacks granted by your flurry of blows, you can impose one of the following effects on that target. First is, your attack creates a 15-foot cone behind the target. All hostile creatures in the cone must make a dexterity saving throw. All creatures within range that fail to save take damage equal to the original Flurry of Blows attack, divided by the number of people hit as force damage. On a successful save, the enemy does not take any damage and is not included in the diffusion of damage. Second, it must make a strength saving throw. If it fails, you can push it up to 15 feet away from you. Third, the target must make a constitution saving throw. If it fails, it takes a -2 penalty to AC until the beginning of your next turn. This effect cannot stack in any way. It can be changed to advantage on attacks against this target until the beginning of your next turn if the AC reduction is too spicy for your DM. So let's go over this feature. You get a level 3 like all the other monk features. It's the first one that you get. And it's very heavily inspired by the open hand, the way of the open hand, I mean, where it gives you these things that you can do with your flurry of blows. And I just wanted to use that because it makes it so we can incorporate a lot of parts of our kit into this subclass. So the first one is the cone. That's the ability, which is the excessive force. Very nicely influenced by the name of the ability now into this feature. And so it does the damage. Originally, it was just a cone that did the same damage to everyone in it, but we got some feedback that was a little too much, so we decided to have it be diffused over the enemy's hit. And so I feel like that's a good compromise, and it definitely fits to Vi's character and her role. Let's move on. The pushback, that's just based on the way of the open hand. I feel like it really fits because Vi's very strong. You'd have good strength if you were a enforcer monk, and so you could push people away, and she has big hands. You would think big hands would be good at pushing people away, That's the sort of idea, anyway. And next, we understand that for this one, the AC reduction is a little bit spicy. It kind of feels like it's 3.5 or something. So we understand if you don't want to have it, so you can have it where it's the advantage. Even though, in my personal opinion, that advantage on attacks could low-key be a lot better depending on the situation. Like, I feel like, if you have like a kajillion AC, -2 isn't that much. Obviously, not a lot of things have a kajillion. Kajillion's pretty rare. So, I'm just saying that if it's really high, then -2 might not matter, and advantage might just be better. I'm not really sure about that, about the math on that. There'd have to be a whole thing about, which would be better. And I'm not saying you can choose which one you want to do, just so you can have it be a better situation. The cheeky people. No, just pick one or the other. Make some compromises with your DM. You can make compromises like how long it lasts. It could last until the beginning of your next turn. It could last until the first, attack that takes advantage of this advantage or this reduction of AC. It all depends on how your DM feels and how balanced your DM wants it to be. It could be really balanced in one direction or the other direction, or it can just be balanced as it is originally. It just depends on the DM. We just want you to enjoy this material. We don't care about using it as it is on the document. We just want you to enjoy it, want you to have fun with this League of Legends inspired subclass. Alright, on to the next one. Blast Shield. At 6th level, after you land an attack on a hostile creature, you can spend 1 key point to gain temporary health equal to your monk level. I believe this is heavily inspired by another Wave the Open Hand feature, which says, if my memory serves, it says you can, every once per short or long rest, you can heal for 3 times your monk level. So I made a compromise with this to make it more balanced in the way how I want it to be used, and make it fit more for Vi. So it gives temporary hit points which can't stack, and it uses a key, and you need to attack someone, which definitely fits Vi, and her passive, which is called Blast Shield. Now next we have Vault Breaker. At 11th level, you gain the ability to charge towards your enemies without anyone stopping you. As an action, you can spend 2 key points to move up to double your unarmed movement speed towards a creature. This movement speed does not provoke attacks of opportunity. If during your movement you come within 5 feet of the target, you can make 2 unarmed attacks. I was about to say strikes. I think that's the right kerneling or wording, whatever. I can fix that, but you can make 2 unarmed attacks or strikes. You get the idea. As this is inspired by her Q, which is her ability called Vault Breaker, funnily enough. It all fits together, it all gels. And so that's where she winds up and she bonks people. And with this thing, you can move pretty far, because by the time you're level 11, your unarmed movement speed times 2 is 40. So if you do all the math with that, you can move up to 90 in a turn, and then, get 2 unarmed strikes. And then you could very well use Vault Breaker for 2 unarmed strikes with your dash or your chargey sort of thing, and then come in with 2 more unarmed attacks with your just flurry of blows. That would drain through your key like nothing else. But it's an idea, and I feel like it fits pretty well. And yeah, next one, Assault and Battery. This is obviously inspired by Vi's ultimate, named Assault and Battery. At 17th level, you learn the signature move of the original Enforcer. As an action, you spend 3 key points to suplex a creature you can reach. The creature must make a strength saving throw. It takes 8d10 bludgeoning damage on a failed save, as you launch it into the air and slam it back down into the ground, and half on a successful one. Whether success or fail, the target is knocked prone. If you land both of your 2 unarmed strikes after using Vault Breaker, you can use Assault and Battery on it as part of Vault Breaker's effect without spending any key points, and without having to make a strength saving throw. And so the sort of idea with this is that you have your charging in thing with the Vault Breaker, and then you can kind of do like a wombo combo sort of thing. So if you charge in, you smack them, you do the double smack, hit both of them, you can get kind of a freebie on the big suplex. And the way I like to think about it is, Street Fighter, you do the Shoryuken, it's like the spinning uppercut as you charge in, and then you just Zangief, suplex them down to the ground, and you just demolish them to bits. And so that's the idea behind this. There's some balancing things as to how much of a freebie it is just by hitting 2 things. Obviously, hitting 200 strikes can be hard depending on who you're attacking. But maybe you could have it be you still need to make the strength saving throw, or maybe you still need to use it's like the great thing about homebrew really is that it doesn't matter. We're just giving you these molds that you got to fill in with clay by making your character fit it, and then you're just having fun, and then you got to take some clay away because your DM's like, nah, man, that's broken. We gotta shear away the fat. And I'm sure there's plenty of fat on this that you could shear. Like, just looking at this, just making it so you still have to make the saving throw, it just saves you on key. I think that's a really good idea that could possibly make it a heck of a ton more balanced. And, but yeah, this is the subclass right now. I hope you really liked this. I hope you liked this video. I liked making this video. It took me a lot of tries to get the right recording. I think it's just me being a dummy, and I ate too much food because I'm recording on Friday, and yeah, so then I get like sleepy. But besides that, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you have an amazing day. Have fun with the subclass. The drive link is going to be down in the description. Also, the link to my friend's stream. We stream every Saturday, Sunday, depending on what your time of the zone is. And yeah, I hope you have a great day. Peace.